My name is Brian Beard. I'm a public affairs specialist for the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Resistance and Resilience, or Recovery and Resilience. And we work alongside FEMA after presidential disaster declarations such as Hurricane Helene, and we offer low interest, long-term loans to people that have damage that is not covered by insurance or FEMA or another source. And these loans are available to homeowners, renters, businesses of all sizes, and nonprofit organizations for anyone that had damage between September 24th and October 30th. And that's available in 63 counties in Georgia that were part of this disaster declaration. Okay, there's no cost to apply for an SBA disaster loan and no payments or interest for the first year. And if you do get a loan offer, you can easily decline it at no cost. So we encourage people to go ahead and apply before the January 7th deadline and decide later. If you get a loan offer and you don't accept it, you still have 6 months after that to change your mind and ask for reacceptance. Okay, and since there's no interest or payments for the first year, no prepayment penalties, if you pay off the loan in less than a year, it will cost you no interest at all. Even if you've already used a credit card or gotten a bank loan to cover your damages for your home or business, you can still get an SBA loan to replace that more expensive debt with a low-cost long-term loan from us. Okay, after the first year with no interest or payments, the fixed interest rate for most homeowners is as low as 2.813% with a term up to 30 years. And for businesses, it's as low as 4% for most businesses and at 3.25% for nonprofits. And even though we won't duplicate insurance coverage, you don't have to wait for your insurance settlement. You can go ahead and apply for the loan. If you get approved, get your first installment and start making your repairs. And then when that insurance money comes in, that can replace or pay off your loan. Okay, and loan terms can be up to 30 years, so it can be very reasonable. If you get a home loan at 2.813% with a 30-year term, a $25,000 loan, the payments would only be about $75 a month, so it's very reasonable. A way to make you whole and to fill that gap that's not covered by insurance or another source and get you back the way you were before the disaster. And if you have a high insurance deductible, the loan can cover that deductible, even if insurance covers most of the cost of your damage. Also, homeowners and renters can request an additional 20% of the damage, the total estimated damage, to build back stronger, to lessen or mitigate the effect of future storms. So if you had a $10,000 deductible, you could get a loan to cover that and then also get another 20% of the total estimated damage to build back stronger and put in a stronger roof or enforce the structure, storm shutters or a sump pump if you have water issues, things like that. Okay, and for loans up to $50,000, there's no collateral and no closing costs. So if you don't have to put a lien on your home or business if the loan is $50,000 or less. And even if a small business or a private nonprofit didn't have any physical damage, but they had a drop in sales due to the indirect effects of the disaster, and they're not able to meet their monthly expenses, such as payroll, utilities, fixed debt payments, you can get a working capital loan from us. It's called an economic injury disaster loan to provide working capital to help you cover those costs until your business is back up and running again. And there's several steps in the process. So if you get a letter or learn in the online portal that you've been declined or put into withdrawn status, please don't give up. That doesn't mean that there aren't any options. You need to read carefully what that letter says. And if it's requiring more documentation, we might just need some more documents to show that you have the ability to repay that loan. So you can upload the documents in the online portal before you click on the button to request reacceptance or reconsideration, or you can call us at our 800-659-2955, or come visit us at any of the disaster recovery centers. There's a lot of them around, including just a few blocks away from here on Chaffee Avenue. But for when you do apply for a loan, you want to make sure that you include the income and assets of everyone in the household and not just the homeowner to better show your ability to repay that loan. And also wanted to mention that even though our home loans are only for your primary residence where you live at least half the year, if you have a rental property and you earn rental income on that property and pay taxes on that income just like a business, you can get a business loan as low as 4% to cover the cost of repairing that rental property. Okay, so I already mentioned our 1-800-659-2955 number. You can also start the process of an application by going to lending.sba.gov. And you can also email us at our disaster customer service at sba.gov to check your status or with any questions. But I do encourage you to also come in person and visit one of our disaster recovery centers to learn more and get all your questions answered. So it'll cost you nothing to keep your options open. But the sooner you apply for an SBA loan, the sooner you'll know how many options you have. So thank you very much. And now we're going to hear from Terry Dennison, who's the Director of SBA District Office in the state of Georgia.
Good afternoon, everyone. What I'm going to focus on, you've just heard about SBA disaster-related assistance. There's another half or another part of the U.S. Small Business Administration, or SBA, that focuses more on non-disaster relief, the programs and resources needed to help people start businesses and to grow their existing businesses. So I'm going to touch on those briefly in the time allotted me, and of course have a table here with more information, more details, and of course you can always find more information at the SBA's website, sba.gov. So really, probably the simplest way I always explain kind of what our part of the agency focuses on is the 3 C's: capital access, counseling and education, and then contracting, particularly helping small businesses who are interested in doing business with the federal government. So I'm going to kind of take it in that order. On the capital access, I'm going to just put it out there because I know someone has this question. Do we have any grants to fund your business or to start your business? The answer is no. We do not provide grants for that purpose, and we also do not provide direct loans to small business for that purpose. The only direct loans are the ones that were just mentioned that are related to disaster relief. Basically, how the quote-unquote regular SBA loan programs work is that we guarantee loans made by commercial lenders, and that can be your standard for-profit banks or non-bank lenders. It can also, in many instances, be what we call community development financial institutions, which are nonprofit, more community-oriented, community development-oriented institutions. And in some cases, even credit unions participate as SBA lenders if they make business loans. So basically, what is a guarantee? Essentially, what we're saying is if these lenders make a loan to you, they did everything they were supposed to properly, closed the loan properly, administered it properly, and things did not work out, we will reimburse that lender the agreed upon percentage of the balance for that loan. By doing that, we hope to reduce their exposure, which means more than likely they'll say yes as opposed to no to a lending request. In some cases, it allows for less money that borrower has to put in because there's no 100% financing in business lending. You have to bring something to the table. Sometimes that can be as much as 20, 25% or more of the total cost of that project. Sometimes with the SBA guarantee, that required percentage can be lower. And then also another benefit is that the terms can be longer, which means you don't have to worry about a huge balloon balance at the end of the term of the loan. So whatever it takes to have equal payments throughout the life of that loan, that's what it'll be up to, say, 20, 25 years, depending on the type of asset. There are three main programs that we work with. We have a microloan program, and as the name suggests, micro, small. So these are loans up to $50,000. These are delivered through participating micro-lending organizations, nonprofit organizations, kind of like those community development financial institutions I mentioned earlier. On average, our microloan programs are made about around 13,000, and they can be used for a variety of purposes: working capital, inventory, etc. And there's also technical assistance that's provided. Our main, probably our largest program is got a strange name, 7A, number 7, letter A. Uh, and that can be used for a variety of purposes, loans up to $5 million. They can be used for a loan that's guaranteed with that program can be used for working capital. That could be permanent working capital. That could be lines of credit or asset-based lending with that SBA guarantee. Commercial real estate, it can be for inventory, furniture, and fixtures. In some cases, can be used to refinance existing business debt. The only condition is that that debt needs to be current, because we're not going to take on debt that's about to go under. And then also you can buy an existing business with a loan guaranteed with this program. So a lot of use for that. Once again, the maximum is $5 million. Probably our other major program, another strange name, the 504 loan program. This one focuses on fixed assets only, so no working capital, no buying existing businesses. So it's used mainly for commercial real estate, to purchase commercial real estate or rehab commercial real estate for an owner-occupied business in that space. Or it can be used to purchase what we call long life assets, like production machinery and equipment, something that's going to last a while. It's not going to be obsolete in a couple of years. Once again, this loan can be up to $5 million. What's really important about this loan is that it is, first of all, a fixed rate loan. It's not a variable rate. And we know we've been kind of suffering the consequences of high interest rates, because every time the interest rate goes up, your interest rate goes up if it's a variable rate. But this one is a fixed rate, and it's based on treasury rate, not the prime. And historically, treasury rate is lower than the prime lending rate. So that's two good advantages of that loan, and it can go up to 25 years on that. And those are delivered by a certified development company that SBA has approved. Actually, here in the Augusta area, the CSRA Business Lending Group is our certified development company that delivers the 504 loan in this area and also over in South Carolina. So that's kind of it for the loans. If you are a construction company or if you know someone who is a construction company, please pass on that we also guarantee surety bonds. When you're doing a contract, a construction contract, you have to have a surety bond. You have to have a bond to submit a bid, to even bid on it. You have to have a bond if you win the bid to cover payment and performance. In case you don't pay up or you can't perform, you got to have a way that whoever you're doing the work for can be assured that that work will be completed. So very important if you're a construction company. We will provide those guarantees to help you with surety bonding if you're a construction company for contracts up to $9 million, and even $14 million can be the max if it is a federal contract. So if you know of construction companies, please share that with them. Counseling and training, we do some at the Georgia District Office, but we rely on a lot of different organizations that we partner with to provide counseling. And in all cases, counseling is free. Training sometimes is free, sometimes is at cost. Several organizations, one is right here to my left, Small Business Development Center. Here we partner with the University of Georgia. We have 18 of these centers around the state, including one here based in Augusta. We also work with an organization called SCORE, which is a volunteer organization that is made up of volunteers who are either former or current business owners, and they share their business expertise as business owners or former business owners. We do not have a chapter currently in Augusta proper, but there is one in Aiken, that serves North Augusta, and we'll continue to work with them to see if we can get another chapter here. We also have women business centers. We have three here in Georgia, and we also have a veteran business outreach center for veterans who are looking to start or grow their business. They're not physically located here, but they often provide resources around the state, either by doing circuit rides to different parts of the states to do programming, or they will do it virtually. Of course, we have our website too, sba.gov. We have our business guide on that site, that kind of walks you through how to set up your business in 10 steps, and everything from I have a business idea to I've grown the business, I want to now exit. It can help you with that. We also have training modules on there as well on different topics related to starting and growing your business. Then the third C is government contracting. Of course, the federal government has requirements in terms of how much of federal dollars are awarded to small business. And there's also other different kind of categories of small business. And one of the things SBA does is provide certifications to businesses to say, we meet one of these areas in which the federal government has requirements or goals. So we support that. Our 8A Business Development Program, which is it's not really a minority certification. It's probably the closest thing we have in the federal government, but it is open to a whole lot of other people, not just minorities. Women-owned small business, also veteran-owned small business. And then one called Hub Zone, Historically Underutilized Business Zone. A little different in that your participation is not based on the ownership. You're not, I'm a woman, I'm a minority, I'm a veteran, but it's where that business is located in an economically distressed area that is considered a hub zone, historically underutilized business zone. And at least 35% of the employees live in one of those areas. And the idea is if the federal government is spending money to procure goods and services, let's try to get some of those dollars to areas that could use the benefit. So we also have a mentor protege program that encourages either larger, more experienced companies or even more experienced small businesses to work with newer, small protege companies to help them develop their business. They have to kind of lay out what does that protege need, what their development needs are, and how that mentor plans to provide assistance. And that can be around contracting. It can be around financing, as in financial support, loans, bonding assistance, et cetera, or just general administrative assistance. So we do have that as well. So that's kind of the three big categories that covers a lot of what we do. Once again, you can get some more information at the table or go to our website, sba.gov. We're also online. You can follow us on LinkedIn, SBA Georgia District Office, and also on X, which is formerly Twitter. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Meredith Johnson. I am with the Farm Service Agency for District 3, and I have Sherry Ledbetter here with me, and she also works in District 3 as well. So we'll join you today to talk a little bit about what programs we have available. When disaster hits, it affects everybody, and we're fully aware of that. But our main goal is to get our ag land back in production here at our office, okay? So we have several programs that you may be interested in and would like to check out at our Farm Service Agency offices. Our first program that we have available is called ECP. We always throwing around initials, but ECP stands for an Emergency Conservation Program. And that Emergency Conservation Program, it provides emergency funding, okay? And an assistance to farmers and ranchers in the area to rehabilitate their farmland and their conservation structures. So this is an aid, an assistance to the ranchers and farmers in the area that you could potentially be eligible for. The Farm Service Agency, we actually administer this program. So what is this program? It is a cost share payment, and it pays up to about 75% of the cost to implement the approved restoration practices. It also can pay up to 90% if you're a socially disadvantaged or a beginning farmer. There's a limit of $500,000 per person in this actual program. What practices are eligible? Let's talk a little bit about that. To remove debris from the farmland, say you've got trees that are in your cropland, you need to get those trees moved so that you can continue to harvest that crop or produce another crop. This program, ECP, is a program that you would be interested in applying for to help you remove those trees and that debris out of your cropland. It also covers if you need some grading and shaping or leveling of land. Once that disaster, the hurricane came through, you may have to do some grading or leveling on your land, your production land. Okay. It also pays a fee, a practice for repairing fence. Okay. You could be repairing a fence. You could be restoring a fence. You come into the office, you bring pictures of your fence area, where the trees are on your fence. It's been taken down. You'll determine whether or not you'll be able to repair it or replace it. And this program would be something you would be also interested in. It helps restoring conservation structures, such as waterways or terraces. It provides emergency water during periods of severe drought as well. ECP, if you want to find out more about ECP, go to disaster.fsa.usda.gov or contact one of your local offices. You can also find your local office at offices.usda.gov. All right, let's talk about another program that we have. So we just talked about our emergency conservation program. We have another program that's called Emergency Forest Restoration Program, and that is EFRP is what we reference it by. How it works, the county committee determines your land eligible using what we call an on-site inspection, and it assesses what damages have occurred there on your property. Keep in mind, due to this Hurricane Helene being such a massive disaster, they have waived some of these inspections that we normally have to go out to your property and review and look at. Those inspections have been waived so that we can get the money quicker to the producer. This allows us the opportunity to service you much quicker. It also pays, it is another cost share program, and it pays up to 75% of the cost to implement those restoration practices. And there's also a $500,000 limit per person per legal entity. This program, so what practices are available through this program? Let's talk a little bit about that. It covers debris removal. It covers site preparation. It covers planting materials, labor, anything that you do to plant or restore that forest land. Okay. Fencing also will come up under EFRP at times, and wildlife enhancement to provide cover openings for the wildlife habitat. More information, disaster.fsa.usda.gov. Also, if you wanted to find your local office, that is offices.usda.gov. Those are two of our programs. We also offer loans, and those loans, I tell you what, I'm going to step back and let Sherry talk to you a little bit about two more programs. because our programs are administered under the program side of Farm Service Agency. And we also have a loan side, and I'll talk to you just a minute about our loans that we have available that you may find beneficial. So, Sherry, I'll let you go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry Ledbetter. I'm out of the Bleckley County office in central Georgia. Y'all have had a lot of damage up this way too, I see. And Meredith talked about the Emergency Forest Restoration Program, the EFRP, which is for like timber production or timber owners. We also have another program called the Tree Assistance Program, or TAP. We love our acronyms, and it is for commercially or trees that produce commercial crops. Trees, bushes, vines. You're talking about your pecan trees or pecan where I'm from. So you've got pecans, blueberries, grapes, all of your trees, bushes, and vines that actually produce an annual crop that have been destroyed, leveled, pecan orchards. The TAP program would cost share we cost share for cleanup, we cost share for replacing the trees, planting the trees, and that would be up to 65% cost share, up to 75% cost share for producers who are beginning or veteran farmers. There is a limitation. I think it's 500,000, and up to 1,000 acres is all we can cost share on. But the TAP program is always going on after any disaster, not just hurricanes. A tornado can come through, tear up an orchard. This program is available. Normally, you have to come into your local Farm Service Agency office and apply within 90 days of the actual disaster event. Now, we do have to make on-site visits. We have loss adjusters that will go out, do a tree count, and the total trees that were there before the disaster and the total trees that were destroyed. Process your application. You would complete the practice, turn in your bills, and then we would pay the cost share, 65% up to 75%. That's on the trees. And we have another program, which is one of my favorites. It's called the Non-Insured Disaster Assistance Program, or NAP. And it is companion to like regular crop insurance that you would get from, say, Farm Bureau or any multi-peril crop insurance agent. But we cover all of those wonderful crops that crop insurance will not touch, like peppers and onions and watermelons and peas and butter beans and squash, and all the organic crops, the organic growers. But now this program is something that you have to sign up for at your local office. And there is normally a $325 per crop administrative fee, maximum of $875 per person per county. If you qualify as a socially disadvantaged beginning farmer, veteran farmer, then that $325 administrative fee is waived. And you come in, you apply for the coverage, then you come back and you report your crop when it's planted. And if you have a natural disaster that occurs on your crop during the year, drought, heat, tornadoes, excessive rains, moisture, any natural disaster approved, then you turn that in. We send a loss adjuster out. They look at the crop, take pictures, do an appraisal. You work everything out to the final after the final harvest. And what the basic coverage covers 50% of your yield, which is established based on a state yield. And if you lose more than 50% of your crop, then you're eligible for a payment. And that is an annual program, ongoing. So anybody that, if you've got, we started now too with urban farmers. But now we would not cover like home gardens. It has to be the produce that would be produced for commercial purposes. If you sell it at the farmer's market, have a U-pick operation, then this is a program you may want to look into. But again, contact your local office, and like Meredith has said, we do have, you can go on our farmers.gov website, just farmers.gov, and look for a service center locator. And you can find where your local offices are. Contact any local office and ask them about the program. And we've got some pamphlets over here. Anybody that's interested wants to come by and look. We'll talk to you more about it.
All right, I just want to touch real quick on our loans. We also have a loan office, Farm Service Agency, our loan department. The closest offices around here are Louisville and Statesboro. But we have many throughout the state of Georgia. So if those two offices would not be geographically located near you, come by the office. We'll help you find your area. So we also have what we call direct loans that we offer. We have guaranteed loans, we have micro loans, and we have emergency loans. Our direct loans are the interest rate changes monthly. They all change monthly, but once you get your loan, and that interest rate remains the same. Okay, direct loan is where you would use it for production. You would use it to plant your crops. You'd use it to buy equipment. You would use it, for those type situations. So that interest rate is 4.75. The guaranteed loans, those interest rates are based out of our what we call guaranteed banks who do guaranteed loans. We actually we don't have anything to do with the interest rates on those. That interest rate is actually comes from your bank. Okay. So we also have farm ownership loans. Those loans, the interest rate as of today is 5.25. We do those loans up to 40 years. We also have the micro loan. We have a micro loan operating. And we also have a micro loan farm ownership. The emergency loans are 3.75. If you're interested in any of the loans, feel like that may be something you need, just stop by the table over here. We'll be glad to talk with you on that. Our ECP, our EFRP, they fall up under a deadline to apply. That deadline is June the 1st of 2025. So just want to give you heads up on that. If you feel like some of these programs would be beneficial to you, be sure to take pictures. Come to the FSA office. We will help you, guide you through this process. Okay? Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Justin Owenby. I'm with the USDA Rural Development out of Statesboro, Georgia, and it is a pleasure to be here today to share with you some of the valuable opportunities available through the USDA Rural Development that you may not be aware of. Our programs can be essential tools for local governments, hospitals, farmers, business owners, and current homeowners, as well as future homeowners. Rural communities face unique challenges, especially when it comes to securing funding and essential services and infrastructure. Our key program is designed to help local governments is the Community Facilities Loan and Grant Program. This program provides low-interest loans and grants to local governments, community-based nonprofits, and hospitals. The difference between high and low interest rates can make a significant impact on helping communities deliver essential services without straining their budgets. The Community Facilities Program supports critical infrastructure development, including fire departments, hospitals, police vehicles, and water and waste systems. Additionally, we offer programs that assist with housing development for low-income families. If you have any needs related to infrastructure or housing, we encourage you to reach out to Rural Development, as we may have the funding and resources for your project. Another important program is the Rural Business Development Grant. This grant is focused on supporting small business development in rural areas by providing financial assistance to local governments and nonprofits. The funds can be used for a variety of purposes, including training and technical assistance, business incubators, and feasibility studies to ensure the success of the new ventures in your community. Additionally, the Rural Energy for America program supports rural businesses, farmers, and ranchers in adopting renewable energy systems for energy efficiency improvements And through the REAP program, applicants can access grants and guaranteed loans to fund projects that reduce energy consumption, lower utility costs, and generate renewable energy. This program not only helps lower operating costs, but also contributes to sustainability efforts in rural areas. Lastly, if rural development does not assist you, we know that it's not the last end of your project. We do have a resource available. Her name is Amy Wilkie through the Rural Partner Network, and I'll let her speak about how she can assist your project.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Justin said, my name is Amy Wilkie, and one of the newer programs that Rural Development has is what is called Rural Partners Network. And as the name states, it is specific to serving rural communities. I am responsible for pretty much the southeastern part of the state. So along I-20 and east of 75 is my general stomping ground. And what we do is we try to help municipalities, we try to help counties, we try to help for-profit, nonprofit, philanthropic organizations get their projects moving forward. So whatever that looks like, if it's the local school system that is trying to implement a new educational program, if it's local government that needs to purchase a fire truck, we would of course send them over to Justin or another organization. But within our department, we've got 24 other federal agencies and commissions that we work with. So alongside with SBA, FEMA under Department of Homeland Security, Department of Transportation, so just an abundance of resources. Obviously, in the area, we know that we've come a long way over the last few months, but we also realize we still have a very long journey ahead of us. So please know that you're not in this alone. We're here. We've got resources to support you for whatever projects you've got. So please come visit us, get our contact information. We've got a lot of flyers and brochures to provide as well. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamara, and I'm from FEMA. Oh, this thing's loud. My name is Tamara. Can y'all hear me? Okay, because that was loud. For FEMA, we go through a sequence delivery. Once a disaster hits a declared area, we go through voluntary agencies that hit the ground first with our DSA team, which is the 7 staff I have on that side. That goes door to door to complete applications with you to help get started before the rest of us get called out. We work with the governors in your areas to get declared. They have to ask FEMA to come out. So FEMA just don't come out after every disaster. Once applications gets initiated, we ask that you go through your insurance companies if you have insurance, but that does not negate the fact that we need you to complete an application for assistance. If your insurance is not able to help you with things, or if you're not covered, then FEMA can do their best to help you with a grant, whether it's for housing assistance or personal property, for up to $42,500 each. So for your home damage, it'll be $42,500. Personal property is $42,500. We cannot guarantee that you will get that amount. The serious needs assistance that has just started with the changes that were made in March of this year, which is the $750. That service is for essential needs. If you put on your application that you was without food, gas, transportation, clothing, things of that nature, the $750 are on it. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't get it immediately. It may take a month or two. Our new service of serious needs, which is the $300. If you place on your application that you don't have any damages, you'll receive $300 for cleaning, to buy cleaning things like bleach, sanitize your home and things of that nature. As far as your home damages, if you are a owner, you need to prove ownership that you owned that home on and before. If you are in a rent to own in your contract, it has to state that you are responsible for all repairs and damages to that home. If you are a renter, you will only be eligible for personal property because the owner of that home will be responsible for the damages of that home. With that being said, personal property could be furniture, TV, bedroom sets, tables, your laptop if you use that for work or business. We have some new things where if you have a shed outside your home and you have supplies for your business, that may be covered. Your transportation goes with, you need to have insurance. If you don't have insurance or full coverage on your transportation, your car has to be registered and insured on and before. If you had childcare, we need to show proof that the hurricane caused you more childcare assistance in order to get help with that. Our new displacement assistance is $1,890 you will receive if you were displaced. Upon being displaced, those funds are utilized to help you find somewhere else to stay. If that runs out, you're able to contact FEMA for rental assistance. Rental assistance can be assisted with up to 18 months, not guaranteed a full 18 months. It depends on the continued continued housing assistance, where every 2 months you will submit proof that you're paying for this rental, proof that you signed the lease, light bill and gas, and it's like it'll wean you off if now you can provide for yourself and cover these things. And that's when our housing assistance come in on the back end, if you are not able to find a place for a long term after the fact. Let's see, I don't want to miss anything with y'all. Oh, insurance. When FEMA sends out letters, it may say not approved. Please read past that one sentence. On those letters, it is step-by-step list of documentation that we are asking you for. Once we receive these documents, then you may be approved. We need your declaration page because we cannot duplicate benefits. Your declaration page will show us if you have loss of use or in your insurance, which is LOU, or ALE, which is additional living expenses. Some insurance policies may cover for you to get a hotel or cover your food or cover a tree removal up to $1,500 and things of that nature. Please just don't pay insurance without looking what you're paying for. That declaration page tells everything that should be covered in your insurance. And just because you receive a settlement from your insurance does not state that FEMA won't still assist you. We just need to know what you receive assistance with already in order for us to continue to assist you. Okay? What else? Sorry, y'all. It's a lot, I know. Okay, here we go. So we went over the documentation with the denial letters. Okay, so with personal property, I want to go back to that. Because even if you're an owner, you still are eligible for personal property needs, moving and storage. So if you have to put your stuff in storage while repairs are being done on your home, we need the copy of that contract and what's your monthly payments. FEMA may be able to assist you with that, okay? We went over transportation. Damages with transportation for your car, we will need and the same with your home, if you have insurance and your insurance is not gonna cover everything and you submit those documents, we need a contractor's or a mechanic statement stating how much it's gonna cost. FEMA may not get you the $65,000 car that you had, but may be able to help you with a ride to get around from A to B locally. The same thing with your personal property, that 75-inch TV, unfortunately, you won't get that 75-inch TV, but you will get a TV that you can utilize and you can see on, okay? We'll do our best. FEMA does not control disaster unemployment. That is a state-run program. So if you were due to the disaster, you became unemployed, You would need to contact the unemployment for your area, but it's disaster unemployment, which is separate, and they will help you with that. Same thing for food stamps. Unfortunately, FEMA does not run a food stamps program, but your state and city, town has a program for disaster food stamps where you'll get a one-time fit for your food loss. Unfortunately, we've had people who pass away due to the hurricane. The person who pays for the services is who needs to apply for FEMA assistance. The decedent cannot apply, so that's not who name need to be on the application. And we would need proof of insurance. If you have burial insurance, then you have burial insurance. You don't need FEMA's assistance. But for people who don't have burial insurance, there's anywhere between $6,000 to $12,000 depending on your state of the disaster, that you can be reimbursed for your funeral services. Okay? And let's see. We went through clothing, furniture, appliance, household items, medical equipment. If you don't have medical insurance, but even if you do have medical insurance, there may be some prescriptions that has a high copay. We may have some voluntary agencies to help you with that. FEMA may be able to help you with that. Wheelchairs, walkers. We have a new ADA guidelines program where we have just got our first family approved for their hydraulic lift on a vehicle who has a child who is wheelchair bound. And they were not able to take him to his appointments or get him around due to the hydraulic lift on their vehicle being damaged. They have just got full assistance for that. If you have a ramp and now you're not able to get out your home because your ramp was damaged, we may be able to help you with that. Handlebars in your bathroom and things of that nature. Submit any and everything possible for assistance. If we can help you, we will. If we can route you in a different direction for voluntary agencies that's assistant, we will. We have voluntary agency liaisons throughout the whole entire disaster time frame, even after the application process ends. At this current moment, the application process is until January the 7th. Pending extension date is underway because certain areas, with this being such a large disaster, have not had disaster areas, or we have people that are not able to get there. So we've been doing these speakers bureaus, or we call them pop-up DRCs, in areas for people who lack transportation or the family support to help them through the application process. We even have a team, which I'm a supervisor for, Enhanced Applicant Services, where we go to your home and pick up your documents if you're not able to get out to the DRCs and things of that nature, or are not computer literate to upload your documentation or facts and things of that nature. We're trying our best to move forward and do better by making sure all survivors get the assistance need during these times. So all these tables in here today is here to help you. We will be here until 4:00. The 1-800 number remains the same. It is a local DRC in this area. If y'all have any questions or concerns, I can give you my personal phone number, okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Howard Dent with the UGA Small Business Development Center. First, I would like to actually thank the SBA for inviting us here to tell a little bit about who we are and what we do today. For those who are not familiar with the UGA Small Business Development Center, we are a joint operation, or jointly funded by the SBA and UGA. You know, go Dogs for any football fans in here. And what we do is we provide the tools, the training, and resources to help small businesses within the state of Georgia grow and succeed. We do that through a network of 18 offices located throughout the state. In fact, we have one here in the Augusta area. And those 18 offices are staffed by over 100 people in total, with more than half who are focused solely on working with small business owners and helping them navigate the startup, the growth, maturation, and eventually the exit avenues when it comes to starting and running a business. In terms of how does that look in real life? Well, our two primary avenues of helping small businesses is one-on-one confidential consulting. And we offer that at no charge. Oftentimes we don't say free because it's not free. We are paid for it, but we do not pass that cost on to the business owners. And the second sort of leg of that stool is continuing education courses. And I'll start with that first. When you have a chance, in fact, you could do it now on your phone, but if you go to georgiasbdc.org and click on training, you'll see a calendar of all of the various training courses that we offer. Some are offered at a nominal charge, others are offered at no charge, but they will range, the topic will range from digital marketing to how to be a good manager, HR, financial management, accounting, really across the board. So a lot of those areas that you as small business owners may either have a good grip on or need a little bit of help on, we often have a lot of continuing education courses that are available really around throughout the month and throughout the year. Now, when it comes to the one-on-one consulting, you have the ability to work with 50 plus either consultants or advisors, and most of these advisors and consultants are experts in their field. They're ex-business owners or have years of experience within corporate America, and they're working with us and with you to pass on a lot of that experience. So as you sort of navigate that road of startup to growth within the world of business, they're there to help you walk that path along with you. We do not do the work for you. We often say that as an educational institution, our role is to teach. You know, if you think of the proverb, teach a person to fish, that's what we try to do. So we're not going to do that work for you, but we'll help you find the resources, the tools, and the expertise that you need to solve that particular problem. And within our network of consultants, again, we have individuals who have expertise in accounting, in finance, and hospitality. So even though you may end up working with one consultant individually, you have access to their entire network. And it's a great resource. And again, that's offered up at no charge when it comes to working with one of our consultants. Now, in terms of what may be more topical to what we're talking about here today, between Terry and a lot of the other presenters, you were presented with sort of an alphabet soup of loans and lending products. If you sort of step back a bit in time to when COVID hit, and between the PPP loan or the PPP loan / grant and the EIDL loan, we had a lot of business owners who did not have the infrastructure or the financial statements in place to apply for those documents. That's where we come into play. So for any of these lending products, if you're looking to apply for them, and for example, you may not have an income statement, you may not have your accounting system set up to produce those financial statements, or perhaps you need a business plan or financial projections, that's where you could come to the SBDC, work with one of our consultants, work with one of our advisors, and they'll help you get to the point where you can apply for that loan and, in fact, step you through that loan application process. So that may be something that's fairly topical with respect to what we're talking about here today. So we encourage you to reach out to your local SBDC office. Where does the journey start? Really at our table. If not there, go to georgiasbdc.org, find the office closest to you, and please reach out to one of our consultants or our advisors. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachel Martin with City of Augusta Planning and Development. And we're here today just to let you guys know what we do and offer some advice about selecting contractors. Our primary responsibilities are business licenses, building construction, current planning, transportation, and code enforcement. I know there's been a lot of confusion regarding what a contractor needs to have and what they need to present you with before you hire them. So we're here to offer some tips on selecting a contractor that can help you with any repairs or renovations that you may need to get done. We recommend that you ask them for their current business license. They should have an expiration date of 12/31/2024, no other date options for this calendar year. They need proof of insurance, a bond and/or an ACCORD. Make sure the license is for the services that they are offering you. And also only hire or use licensed and bonded electricians. For out-of-state contractors, you're gonna wanna check with their Secretary of State to see if they are currently registered in that state. We have a table set up over here with a plethora of information, and we're here to help. If you have any questions or concerns about what you would need as far as rebuilding, please stop by our table. You can call us anytime between 8:30 and 5, Monday through Friday, at 706-821-1796. Or you can always visit www.augustaga.gov and select the Planning and Development Department. Thank you so much for being here, and have a good day.
Good afternoon, you all. I'm with Georgia Legal Services Program. We are a nonprofit law firm. We're located here in Augusta, but we do serve all of Georgia except for the 4 central Atlanta counties. And so we do have some offices spread out throughout the state. Georgia Legal Services isn't just here during disasters. We're here all the time. And so I am going to go over the services that we offer and ones that we're specifically offering related to the disaster. So one thing that we do offer, we offer service free of charge, and it's income based. So, or if you're over the age of 60, you'll qualify under our senior assistance regardless of your income. So issues that we help with are tenants that are being dispossessed from their property. We can provide representation to try and keep them in their home longer, or just try and keep them in general. I know with the storm, there's been a lot of extra stress, which has resulted in a lot of extra family problems if there's already been a stressful situation. So we have seen an increase in domestic violence in the area. So Georgia Legal Services does offer representation for survivors of domestic violence, and will help get a temporary protective order, and we have resources to help get a victim out of that situation if they're in it. We help with state-issued benefits, and if you've been denied, that's going to include things like food stamps, unemployment, Medicare, Medicaid, and that's going to include your supplemental and replacement SNAP benefits if you lost food during Helene, as well as the DSNAP benefits. So if any of those have been denied, or you think you're not receiving enough or a proper amount, that's an issue that we can help with. We help in a variety of consumer issues. So I know with the storm, there were some scams going around with repairs and stuff like that. So if you think you've been a victim of a scam or having a consumer issue or being sued for a debt, that is something we can help with as well. We're there for our students. We want to try and keep them in school as much as possible. And so if there's any student that's facing a suspension of 10 days or more, we will represent them at a tribunal. And if there's problems getting an IEP in place to help our children with disabilities, we'll help with that as well. As part of our services, we do also assist with wills, medical directives, and financial power of attorneys. These are particularly helpful after disaster occurs, but require you to be prepared before the disaster occurs. We've also worked in partner with the Georgia Bar Association, and we have a disaster response line. And if you've been denied your FEMA coverage or for insurance denials, we do have some attorneys that are working pro bono and free of charge that we can potentially connect you to help you resolve these issues as well. If you need help with an intake, our intake line is 1-833-GLSP-LAW, And please stop by our table, get some more information, and we're happy to help. And we look forward to working with all of you. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Van Davis. I am with WorkSource Georgia, the state's Office of Workforce Development. So I'm coming to you from an employment workforce development angle. With rapid response, typically we work with businesses and their employees who are dealing with facing job closures or business closures or layoffs. But we also have a disaster component, obviously with, say, Hurricane Helene. Obviously businesses have been impacted. People have lost jobs. What we try to do is connect those individuals impacted by a layoff or a closure with resources, whether it's helping them find another job, whether it's helping them with training, connecting them to the resources that they need, just in general. So I partner and collaborate with a lot of community agencies, community partners, and I have a couple of them here with me now. We just do what we can to connect folks to their next step from an employment standpoint. And if along the way they say, hey, I need help with this or I need help with that, we try to connect them to the right partners. I'm actually based out of Macon, but I cover the CSRA area. So I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague, Miss Amanda Weekly with WorkSource CSRA.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? My name is Amanda Weekly, and I'm the Director of Workforce Development for WorkSource Georgia CSRA, also as the CSRA Regional Commission. I want to discuss just a few services offered through WorkSource Georgia and the WIOA program. So WIOA is a federally funded program designed to connect job seekers to employment, education, and training, and support services they need to succeed in the labor market. Assistance includes tuition assistance in addition to childcare and transportation stipends. We do serve youth, adult, and dislocated workers, and you do have to go through our eligibility and suitability process. I have some flyers back here on the table for you guys to come by. Pick some up if you're interested.
Good afternoon. My name is Sherry Bennett, and I'm with the Georgia Department of Labor. And I'm here to talk about unemployment insurance benefits and briefly mention about the disaster unemployment. For disaster unemployment, the deadline has already expired if you hadn't applied already. The deadline was December the 2nd and December the 6th, depending on what county that you reside in. However, for those of you that have already applied for the DUA assistance, those applications are being processed by our Atlanta office. They are processing them in the order that they are received, and that we ask that you remain patient due to the high influx of claims. For those of you that applied for DUA assistance, you would have needed to apply for regular unemployment first. So they're going to review two claims, the regular and the DUA portion of it. You will receive a decision via mail. If you disagree with it, it will give you the instructions on how to go through the appeals process. For those of you that may have missed the deadline and you're still interested in applying for unemployment assistance, you may do so. You can apply for regular unemployment and go through the process of regular unemployment versus the DUA. We do have some information at the table that gives you the steps in the process on how to file your unemployment claim and what you need to do once the claim has been filed. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Shagrayla Hammond. I'm with the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to the SBA for inviting us. So we actually partnered with the SBA with a few things. We did a training, and then we've also hosted 2 of their webinars that they had. But I just want to tell you a little bit about the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. We were founded in 2017 by Ms. Ronique West, who is our president, who is not here at the moment. But I just want to let y'all know all the things we have going on. You guys can, of course, come see me at the table and get some information. We are wrapping the year up, so we do not have any more events. We just had our closeout event. But we are currently running our 7th program. We've run 7 programs since the start of our chamber. And we're running our 7th one now with the Aiken, City of Aiken. And we have given away $516,000 in grants and loans over the last 7 years. With 2 loans, thank you so much. With 2 loans given out this year to business owners to continue on their growth and their journey. We've also, with Hurricane Helene efforts, we've given away over 4,000 meals. We were boots on the ground the moment the storm happened, and we also provided some resources to businesses and personal resources as well. We have over 200 plus members. We have a foundation that is currently up and running, and that is who is helping with the Hurricane Helene relief efforts. We've had over 70 plus events this year, and we have trained over 800 business owners. So we have a lot of different things going on. Like I say, we'll be here for the duration of the event if you want to talk to me for all the things that the chamber has coming up for the next year. Thank you guys so much.
Good afternoon. I am LaTanya Leverett. I am a career coach with Goodwill here in Augusta, Georgia. First, everyone knows that Goodwill is a retail store, but we have some gift cards. I want 4 different individuals to tell me what you know about Goodwill. Okay?
You employ people and train them.
Okay.
And also,
That's good. Thank you. You'll get a gift card.
you also educate them in school.
Okay, very good.
Goodwill is a nonprofit.
That's right. One more. Okay.
Donation services.
Very good. And the reason I did that, most people know that Goodwill, we are a store, a retail store, but we're actually more than a retail store. So first of all, you may decide that you want to donate to our 7 stores in this area, and it's Augusta. We have the North Augusta store and the Aiken store. So when you donate, then our employees, they process the donations and they put them in the store. Well, it's more than you donating. When you donate your money, we use that to provide some free classes. Again, free classes. HCE. Some of those classes we have right now, that's a free class, phlebotomy. We have forklifting, CMAA. So there are certain classes by you purchasing goods at our store that we give back to the community free of charge by giving free classes. So how does that help you? You're able to get a free education, and also you're able to come to our job connections in which I work, and we'll assist you with the resume for free. All of our services and our job connections are free. We will assist you if you need help with applying for jobs. We have jobs on our job board. So we have a plethora of services that we offer. Also, we have some tuition classes that we offer our programs, culinary, at the Augusta campus. And I jokingly say this, but we own everything in the complex except for the Dairy Queen. Everything else we own. The store belongs to us, and then beside the store is the bakehouse. And I tell everybody that's like Starbucks. We have our own Starbucks. Beside the bakehouse is a job connection, and that's where you can apply for jobs. You may have lost your job because of the hurricane, and we can assist you. Then beside that, we have the Snelling Center. You may need to have an event and you want to rent a building. We have the Snelling Center. Then beside that, we own Edgar's Grill, and the rest of it belongs to Helms College. So we have a plethora of services that we offer. Many of our services are free. And again, we're more than just a store. And also, how can you help us? Not only your donations, but when you come in the store and they ask you for a roundup. I know everybody said, do you want a roundup? But when you round up, you are assisting us by giving those free classes. As well, for the businesses that we see here, we have free hiring events. If you would like to come, you can schedule an appointment. You can have your own hiring event at our location at one of our 4 job connections. It's totally free. We will advertise for you. You can advertise as well. You can interview at our facility. We have the Augusta campus, Grovetown, Aiken, and the Peach Orchard. So again, we have so many services. And again, we are more than just a retail store. So now you know we have a plethora of services for you. If you need assistance with resumes, jobs, clothes, with the hurricane, some of you may have lost clothes. On Monday, the color of the day is $1.25. So if the color of the day is green and you find a green clothing item, that item is $1.25. And some of you may need that assistance because of the hurricane. So again, thank you. And stop by one of our Goodwills.
Okay, this is Brian again from the SBA Disaster Assistance. Want to thank everyone who came out today, and feel free to circulate among the tables and ask any specific questions you have. Want to thank Paine College for hosting this event and for giving us the space so we can let everyone know about all the services and assistance available to people who still have unmet needs. And so, as we've mentioned, this is going to be recorded, so we'll have it available online so people can learn about all these services if they weren't able to make it today. So again, I want to thank all the organizations who presented today, as well as Paine College for hosting this event. And we hope all of you can take advantage of some of these services and get back on the road to recovery. It's a long process, so you've got to persevere and make sure you're asking the questions and finding out everything that's available. But wish you all the best and have a happy holidays. Thank you.